Okay, 6th grade, we'd gotten a little bit of a break because you had a study guide and a test. So not really, but we haven't done a homework for a little bit, so we're going to get going. So for Monday, it says, find the area of the shape below, show your work, and label your answers. Okay, this shape is not a rectangle, triangle, or a parallelogram. So to be able to find the area, you have to take this shape and decompose it or break it into pieces that you can find the area of. So you can decompose and move things, or you can just focus on one piece at a time. When I look at this shape, I see a triangle here, and a triangle here, and oh, I see a parallelogram. I'm going to turn it. Do you see the parallelogram? You could find the area of this parallelogram, or you could find the area of each of these triangles, or you could break it into 4 triangles. However you want to do it. You just need to break it into pieces that you know how to find the area of. So if you're like, I can't remember parallelograms, they make me nervous, change it all to triangles. Then we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes that we need to find the area of each one, and then add it together. You could also, if you want to, take this shape and move it this way. So get rid of it completely, gone, and we move it over here. And you can see that's the same. And now I have the area of a square and another square. And I could do the same thing with this one, and I could move it this way. So remember, this is gone. And now I have this square, and this square that I could find the total area of. Whatever works for you. For Tuesday, it says find the area of the rectangles with the following side lengths. So we don't have rectangles that we can see, but this is saying if these are the side lengths where we have, 5 inches, and then we have this little skinny rectangle where this is 4/3 of an inch. How do I find the area of a rectangle? So you're going to have to do base times height, or multiply these 2 side lengths. Well, let's do a little refresher of how we multiply. So I'm going to make up a new one. You don't have to do this one. You can just follow along with me. But what if my rectangle was 3/5 inches and 6/7 inches? Okay, how do I find my area? Multiply these two. So I'd have to do 3/5 times 6/7 equals 3 times 6. Remember, when we're multiplying fractions, you just have to multiply your numerator and then multiply your denominator. So 3 times 6 is 18. 5 times 7 is 35. And that's it. This is the area. Oh, we should label it inches squared. Always label. So on these, I want to see your multiplication with your label. Up here, when it's not a fraction, how do I turn this into a fraction? It is 5/1, because this says it is 5 wholes. So 5 whole numbers. Hey, you can pause that there for Tuesday. Wednesday says if the side that is 6 units long is the base, so I've got a side here and here, so I can choose either one. If this is my base right here, what is the corresponding height? So I have, is it 5, is it 4, or is it 4.8? So you could use your little card, or any, like you might not have your card at home, so do you have anything, any piece of paper around? You just grab another piece of paper that has this corner on it, and you can use it to figure out which side, but you need to find your height. So on here, write down, what is your height? Now find the area of the parallelogram. So remember, parallelograms is just base times height. So once you've found your height up here, it's going to be real easy. You're just going to multiply those, label them with units squared, and you'll be done. Thursday says, here are 3 fractions, 2/3, 4/5, 6/9. 2 of these fractions are equivalent to each other. Which 2? Explain or show your reasoning. So I'm going to do a different example here. I'm just going to remind you what equivalent fractions are. So if I had 1/4 and I wanted to create an equivalent fraction, this is what we do when we're trying to get a common denominator in class, and you multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. That would equal 2/8. That means 1/4 and 2/8 are equivalent. Because they were multiplied by the same number top and bottom, it created an equivalent fraction. So another example, what if I had 2/5 and I wanted to create an equivalent fraction. I could multiply it by any numbers I want. Let's try times 10. Then I would end up with 20 over 50. So that means 2/5 and 20/50 are equivalent fractions because I multiplied top and bottom by the same number. So when I'm looking at these three fractions, I need to figure out which of these fractions could I multiply by the same number and get to one of the other fractions. So for example, 2/3 and 4/5. What would you have to multiply 2 times to get to 4? Times 2, right? Times 2. But does this equal? Nope. So those two definitely aren't equivalent. So you're going to see which one can you multiply to find another one using the same number top and bottom. That's what makes equivalent fractions, is by multiplying the same thing top and bottom. And it doesn't matter what number you use, you can create lots of equivalent fractions by multiplying the same thing on the top and bottom. That's it. I want to see your work and you explain which two were equivalent and show me which number did you multiply by so that we can see that that's correct. That's it for this week. So if you have more questions, remember there is tutoring on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30. I'll see you guys in class.